Welcome back to the homestead here, guys, out at Heartwood. And, well, this day, look at this. It's just beautiful. And, so yeah, I'm out here screwing around with the boat because, you know, the moisture's starting to build up. There's water getting into the bilge. The batteries are dead because I haven't got my solar set up on here yet. Not that that would do anything because there's usually a lot of cloud out here. You know, just solving problems, trying to anyways. So the water in the bilge has slowly been kind of creeping up. So I thought I would grab the old fire pump here. I don't really have any other way to pump it out. I hooked up the generator to the battery system, but the battery's voltage is so low that they're not taking any charge or anything, so that's not really doing anything. So I couldn't get the built-in bilge pump to engage. So I'm gonna have to kind of maybe take the wires and get a little 12 volt, because I've got pretty sure there's a 12 volt plug on the generator. So I'm trying to rig something up, so I thought, oh, I'll just throw the fire pump in there and that thing will pump it out in like 5 seconds, right? And I need to run this thing anyways so that the carb doesn't get all bunged up. And so I went to start it, and I don't know if you guys have noticed anything, but that's not a cool paint job or a racing stripe. That is a massive crack in the pump housing. So what I did was I left water in there and then obviously when it froze, the ice expands and it's, you know, just sitting in there underneath, right? Because the water comes in up here, so it's only like half full, but then that ice just expanded out. So I should have drained that after using it, or definitely before the winter anyways. I always keep it drained. And I knew that about engine blocks in boats, that you gotta pump them out. I didn't really realize it about that though. So now I know that that has to be pumped out as well. So now I got no fire pump. Well, I have a backup, but I gotta fix this thing. Sheesh. But thankfully Princess Auto will have spare parts, I'm pretty sure. And the motor I think is still good. Oh man. So I guess I'm not getting the bilge pumped out today, but we're going on another little adventure. I found something very useful up in the bush, and I'm gonna go and try to recover it. So, all right, I got a couple of recovery ropes here, roll of duct tape, big zap straps, and I think that's all I'll need to recover this thing. So I also got one of these little plate carriers. They're cool. This isn't like a sponsor or anything, but you know, I bought this for when I'm out shooting to hold my mags, but it actually doubles really well as like a little tool holder. And it's got this pouch on the front that I keep all sorts of keys and knives and little wrenches and bits and stuff in. And kind of comes on and off real easy, and it's got the mole so you can put stuff on it. So it's actually a really kind of, it obviously isn't like a replacement for my leather tool vest for like carpentry and stuff, but for like general maintenance around the property, you know, it's nice because the pouches aren't hanging down low, so I can still climb in and out of my excavator and, you know, still keep enough stuff on me that I'm not kind of running around looking for stuff where I put it down. So yeah, if you guys are, you know, got a big property or anything like that, and you're always driving around and having to carry little stuff on you, think about getting one of these little plate carrier, you know, tactical vest thing.
This video has been made possible by my monthly sponsors: U2 Fasteners, Odie's Oil Wood Finishes, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, and Princess Auto. If you want to see what these great retailers have to offer you, please check the links in the description box below. Thanks for watching.
Well, how's my helmet hair? I am way up in the bush here in the middle of nowhere. And before you guys all go ringing off in the comments, I actually found this little treasure well over a year ago when I was bushwhacking up here and exploring around, just trying to get a lay of the land. And I found this up here and I thought, man, that's pretty sweet. Like, who would leave that up there? And then I go, probably somebody's probably coming back to get it or something like that. I don't know what they were using it for. This is like it's decommissioned old forestry land there. Like, the roads are all grown over and you can only maybe access them with a quad. Not wide enough for a truck or anything. So I don't know how this thing got up here, but it's actually in really good shape. So check it out. Just driving up here and this is just sitting here in the bushes. So for those of you who are just like, well, who cares? This is a huge, bring her out. Who can guess what it is? It's pretty obvious. It's a huge, or not huge, but it's a log dolly or a beam dolly, or lift anything heavy and, tow it behind your quad or your truck around the property, use a machine. It's like, seems like a really heavy duty axle that somebody welded shorter, and put on these nice big wheels. Like, that's probably a 7,000 pound axle, I'm guessing. And then they welded this up and it's all pretty solid. It's been sitting out here for well over a year, just rusting. So I figured whoever left it out here is not coming back for it, or else they probably would have grabbed it. Most people don't leave their belongings in the woods for over a year before they pick them up. So I am salvaging this thing because Lord knows I could make some use of this thing on my property. Now, I've got my machine that could pick up logs and stuff like that, but if I'm ever doing like a really big log, like those log boom logs, where I found like an old dead fallen tree and then I choked it up with a chain and I had to drag it all the way back. It took forever, right? Because the machine can only pick up, 6,000 or 7,000 pounds, like right over the bucket. And with a big log, it's awkward. So, you can pick up smaller logs, but this, I just picked one end of the log up, right? Stick it on the bottom, ratchet it down with some heavy duty ratchet straps, and then I just pick up the other end and I can just maneuver that thing anywhere around, especially like turning corners. Having it on wheels makes, having to drag it around corners and trees like that, like, so much easier. And then not only that, if I'm offloading big timbers, like off my sawmill, if I'm cutting a big log into a big long timber, right, we could swing it onto this thing, and then two guys or even one guy can just, it's balanced like a teeter-totter, like, right? Then once it's balanced, you can roll it around no problem, right? So this is what timber framers use, usually a smaller version of this to carry big timbers around and set up for cutting and that sort of stuff. But yeah, this will be handy to have on the property and saves me a ton of time trying to build something like that. As well as the materials and the tires and everything seem, still holding air. So seems like it was. So yeah, it's a little rusty, but the axles are still moving. It's not there's no squeakiness. So you might not be super excited about it, but I'm excited about that. That is a sweet little piece of kit. Now the question is, how do I tie this to the back of my quad and tow it back. Now I was going to give you a tutorial on the samurai knot there, but there's really no point because only a samurai knows how to tie the samurai knot. Probably couldn't even do that again if I tried. When in doubt, just tie like 75 half hitches and you'll be fine. So, I've got some pretty wild terrain to get through for the first section, and then I'll get onto a little bit more of a solid trail here. So I'm just gonna take this slow and we're just gonna crawl back. All right, let's prep back to homestead. So this is the hard part here. Got this big upturned tree. Tire just keeps getting jammed under there. So I'm gonna have to untie it and get it through this section by hand, and then kind of retie it. This is the gnarliest part where I'm basically just bushwhacking. It's a gong show, but haven't broken anything yet. We're back on the road again, so hopefully shouldn't be any more drama here. It's kind of still bouncing around there just because I got these ropes tied on and it's pretty janky. I definitely need to come up with a little trailer hitch situation for this thing if I want to be able to move it around. Because each wheel, there's no diff or there's no lock, right? So they're, you know, one wheel's going this way and it's just jackknifing non-stop. But we got a nice big hill coming up here. Woo! Right up there. Let's see how she does. We made it down to the property. Oh, sweet. Only had to like retie it like, I don't know, 5 different times. Because I'm a good sailor, you know my knots. For those of you who have watched the video this far, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like and a subscribe. And in the next video, I'm going to be putting my sawmill together. So, well, it's already put together, but I've been moving it up here. And I got some bed extensions. So I'm going to be able to cut like a 30-foot beam once I set up my mill, which is going to be over here. This is kind of the flattest little area I could find that's out of the way. And then this is going to be kind of become my lumber yard here as I mill up these big log piles and see what kind of timber I can get out of them. Any of you guys want to come out and help? Appreciate it. Till the next video, guys. Samurai out.